Yo.
Oké, helemaal goed.
Ja, hi. Vermoord heeft. Kijk. At the Royal Academy in my MA in non-linear curriculum. That way. That's like so you're graduating in December or have to graduate? Yeah, I'm supposed to.
Maar dat is echt, ja, jullie hebben ook vluchtelingen. Ja, ik kan me voorstellen dat zij voorzichtig willen zijn, maar kijk, dat is een mooie foto.
Nee, dat is echt ingewikkeld.
Dat is de effect. Oké, voor de volgende keer dan, ja.
Ja.
Everyone, thank you so much for coming. In December, I was speaking at a protest in Utrecht with over 1,000 people, and the thing I talked about then was that in these times of constant fight for whatever progressive values we have achieved is getting more and more intense. The only thing that they cannot take from it is standing in solidarity with each other. And if I look at the amount of people that have gathered here today, I can very solidly say we've done that. You are here to stand in solidarity with queer refugees, with queer asylum seekers, and thank you for coming today. As you know, we'll be going on a march. We'll be walking past the Ministry of Asylum and Migration. We'll be walking past the Russian consulate. Alice was 16 when she came here from Russia. She was 17 when she passed here in the Netherlands. We'll be stopping at the Carnegieplein at the Vredespaleis. In the meanwhile, we'll have flyers handed out to people in the street. We'll be chanting and we'll be letting people know what is happening. I want to thank people for trusting to organize this protest. And I want to pass the microphone on to Sandro from LGBT Asylum Support, who's been helping asylum seekers and refugees for years, and who shared with us the story of Alice. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Perhaps I should ask some people who are here with signs, can you step forward? Can we make a group? No, I mean the signs, this one. And if you turn this one around. Yeah. These, well, first I have to say welcome. On an event I did not imagine when I started as a queer activist for human rights, that after several years we are here standing with names of queer refugees who died in a shelter in the Netherlands. This is so shameful, because we are now with 7 refugees, and for the first time we're making these signs to indicate that these people came here for protection in the Netherlands, and the Dutch government failed to give them protection. This is shameful. I did not make a speech because last night we sent out also a signal to the COA about a trans refugee who tried to commit suicide. I'm chairman of LGBT Asylum Support. We support more than 1,200 refugees, queer refugees in the Netherlands, who want to have a safe, peaceful place in the Netherlands. And they arrive here, they come to shelters, and mostly the shelters, especially in the beginning, are not safe. And the government, the COA, the IND, the minister, they all know this, But what is happening here, you can see 7 people who died, and for all of them there is no investigation what happened to them, and that's shameful. It's only shameful, I can say. Last night I sent out not only a message to the COA about someone who tried to commit suicide, a trans person, but also other trans persons who are in need. And I want to quote something about the more than 1,000 signals since last year we're sending out. Can someone hold this one? This is from a trans couple who are now seeking asylum. That means asking for protection. The conditions here are worse than in Ter Apel. Toilets for men and women and showers without doors. Our appearance, it's a trans couple, makes it difficult to take care of ourselves. Sandro, it's unbearable for me to be here as a trans person too. They won't let me into the women's restroom normally, and there's no door in the shower here at night. Someone just walked in and saw me. We also share one bed for 2 persons. This is shameful. This is how we give shelter to vulnerable queer refugees who don't have rights in the beginning of the whole asylum procedure. And it goes on. This is from another refugee. We have a lot of problems here. They put us in the family, and it's really bad. And we have to explain to everyone why we are here. And they look at us badly. And even today, one of the residents went to the toilet and they made fun of him. And he couldn't do anything. And I'm really tired. I'm not in a good mood at all. And I have a lot of trouble because they wrote my gender as female on the food label and my full name, which is the name of my birth certificate. And it's very difficult, and I have to hide my label so that no one can see that my gender is written as female. I am a transgender man. This is our government who tries to be inclusive. But what we see the whole time with trans persons from the beginning, they don't mention the gender right. And this is the start from a country which needs to give you protection. And this is going on not only today, but it's going on already for years. On Tuesday, we're going to send out our open letter to the minister, who is residing here nearby. And I share with you one part of this letter. And since we have Minister Faber, we have been sending out already 12 urgent letters. And it seems it's never, ever enough. Even if a trans refugee like Alice, who came here as 16 years old, and I spoke to her in Ter Apel for the first time, but in the first week in Ter Apel, she was also raped by an adult. And this was her start in the Netherlands. In this group, there are also some refugees who will talk, who are the fellow unit persons, and they will talk about who Alice was. This is my letter, apart from the letter to the minister. Your Excellency, where can you still feel safe when protection is no longer guaranteed? I would like to inform you on the following with this open letter, supported by many organizations that care about queer refugees. The right of queer people, and especially transgender people, are under pressure worldwide. Exclusion, discrimination, threats and persecution are commonplace. You recently stated in the Dutch House of Representatives that you felt it was appropriate for queer refugees to make a choice to come to the Netherlands because our country is attractive. How can she do this? That's not the case. They flee to the Netherlands out of fear of persecution in order to receive the protection that they will never be able to get in their country of origin, and for which they should be protected here by base of Article 1 of the Constitution, onze grondwet. However, once in the Netherlands, they often experience situations in the reception centers that are comparable to or even worse than in their country of origin. We would like to remind you once again that you, in the severe service of the state of the Netherlands, must implement Article 1 of the Constitution, and that applies to everyone in the Netherlands, including the group of queer refugees. But here we are in Den Haag, and here you see the people who died in their shelter. I point out Malon. She was a Chinese refugee. She was also a victim of crimes in China, and they wanted to change her gender. She stayed in Echt, the AZC, and in the morning when she tried to commit suicide in front of the train, they could take her back to the shelter, but the same afternoon she did it. And this is horrible. And we were asking the whole time, where is the protection? What happened in her shelter that this could happen? Haitem, he fled from Yemen in AZC Vlissingen. AZC Vlissingen is one of the shelters. They don't have LGBT units, and they don't want to make LGBT units. It's one of the worst AZCs in the Netherlands at the moment. Haitem got his residency, but was bullied by the rest of his inmates. And finally he committed suicide, but he was also buried by the same people who were bullying him. Wait. Antonina, Misha, Kate, Hina, all Russian refugees, most of them trans refugees. Trans refugees, and it is known, they have the most complex problems. And we also know that several of them, they had already tried to commit suicide in their country of origin. And in the letter to the minister, we're asking again and again, please make a risk analysis, because this is what they should do. If you want to protect, you must also know how to protect. The last one, Alex. And this is the most sad story I think I ever witnessed as a chairman of LGBT asylum support. Because Alice was a minor, and we don't know, we don't understand how it's possible that she died by an overdose. She committed suicide in a shelter for adults, completely neglected. How is this possible? Because our government, by law, must protect minors, especially minors. In our 12th letter to the minister, we are asking, and the minister did not reply yet, we are asking again and again and again, how is this possible? Do research, because Alice, and that's also what it's about today, Alice must be the last one who committed suicide. I'm using the word suicide a lot, but you have to know, as one family, you always have someone in your neighborhood you can talk to. We have a special number in the Netherlands you can call always, 0800 113 0800 113. I can't rehearse it again. I thank you so much to be here, because with this protest we are not silent, and that's something which is for them and also for all the other refugees who are in the same problems It's so important that they know that they are not alone. Thank you so much. Make some noise! Make some noise for Alice! Make some noise for the minister! Thank you! And now I want to introduce to Noor. Noor is one of the refugees who was in the same unit as Alice. When Alice committed suicide by overdoses, it was Noor who reached out to me. I made a complaint, a report to the COA, but at that moment it was already too late. I give the word to Noor, and please give the refugees a warm welcome, a big applause. Thank you.
I'm truly grateful to have this chance to speak today. And I want to thank Sandro and every member of LGBTQI plus community who cared enough to be here and to take part. Some refugees came here to escape death and save their lives. Others came to live a full life, to be themselves and to choose their partners freely. Not every refugee has the same story. That's why equity is different from equality. Equity means understanding that each person has different needs and giving them the right support and opportunities so that everyone can have a fair chance. We are asking for equity. Our journey through the asylum process and resettlement should be different because our needs are different. Our safety depends on being placed in communities that are accepting and safe for queer people. We live in a country where people get fined for putting glass in the wrong trash bin. It's shocking that waste is handled with more care and strict rules than human lives. I understand that people make mistakes, but when an organization this important makes a mistake that puts lives in danger, it should take responsibility and learn from it. But that didn't happen. COA has continued placing LGBTQI plus people in places where they have forced violence and abuse. What's worse, COA placed a minor from our community in a regular adult camp and didn't stop there. This young person had mental health problems and could not take care of herself. Alice passed away because she was placed in the wrong place. COA and IND says all refugees are treated the same, but that is simply not true. Why do some people get faster decisions and others wait longer? Why are some LGBTQI plus people accepted easily while others struggle? We have all seen unfair treatment based on someone's nationality. So to IND and COA, we ask, what are your rules? What is the system that you are using? Are you really treating people the same? Why does it seem so hard for you to treat us based on what we actually need? Why do the same mistake keeps happening? Why don't we have a fair chance to speak up when something goes wrong, just like what happened with Alice? There are still so many questions with no answers. And worse, there are still many LGBTQI plus people who are not safe at the moment and are not getting the support they need. Thank you.
Thank you, Noor. This is really, it's heartbreaking to hear this. We have another one from the unit of Alice, the shelter of Alice in Amsterdam. This is Anna. We know each other already also for long. Anna is going to do this in Russian, and it will be translated also by her friend who is next to her. Give her a warm welcome.
Я здесь сегодня не только как беженка, я здесь как трансгендерная женщина. Убежала из своей страны, потому что быть собой там значит жить под угрозой каждый день.
I'm here as a transgender woman. I fled my country because being myself there means living under threat every day.
За то, кем я являюсь, меня арестовали, и за то, что я трансгендерная женщина, меня преследовали. Мне угрожала реальная опасность. До сих пор меня ищут. Я не имела другого выбора, кроме как бежать ради жизни, ради свободы.
For being who I am, I was arrested. For being a transgender woman, I was persecuted. I was in real danger, and they're still looking for me. I have no choice but to run for my life, for my freedom.
Я искала здесь защиту, я мечтала о безопасности, но вместо этого часто чувствую ту же самую опасность, просто в другой форме. В лагерях, в офисах, в очередях снова сталкиваюсь с недоверием и равнодушием.
I sought protection here. I dreamed of safety, but instead I often feel the same danger, just in a different form. In the camps, in the offices, in the queues, I'm again confronted with distrust and indifference.
Я не преступница, я человек. Быть собой – это не преступление. Я прошу лишь одного – безопасности, права на жизнь, право быть.
I'm not a criminal. I'm a human being. It's not a crime to be me. All I ask for is safety, the right to live, the right to be.
Мы не фантазия, мы не статистика. Мы реальные, мы живые, и мы заслуживаем того, чтобы быть в безопасности. И не молчите, услышьте нас. Мы просим и хотим жить.
LGBTQIA plus refugees. We're not a fantasy, we're not statistics, we're real, we are alive, and we deserve to be safe. Don't be silent, hear us. We just want to live.
Thank you so much. In our letter, which is upcoming next Tuesday, we ask again that in every shelter there must be an LGBT unit, which means, and that's the minimum, which means that if they start into APO, in the whole process, from A to Z, they are being protected. And what we also ask again and again and again, we want to have several shelters only for LGBT refugees, for them.
Soon we'll be starting our march, but during the march we'll be shouting some chants. We're going to practice them here before we leave. Can I hand you this sign?
Can I have a question about taking pictures? Is this okay?
It's allowed.
Yeah?
It's allowed.
Okay.
Okay. Justice for Alice, justice for all.
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 We are queer, we are here. You cannot disappear.
We are here, we are here. You cannot disappear.
Hoe laat is het?
Solidariteit.
Hoe laat is het?
Solidariteit.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make the system fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make the system fall.
Faber, schande, bloed aan je handen.
Faber, schande, bloed aan je handen.
Justice for Alice, justice for all.
Justice for Alice, justice for all.
Thank you. In a couple of minutes we'll start walking.
We have a big discussion, I don't know if all the refugees also know this, we have a big discussion in the Netherlands about Lientje. And we have Minister Faber here, who's having her ministry here. and she doesn't want to give a ribbon that's a symbol from our whole society for people who are doing volunteer work. And so we have a discussion at the moment that some people who do volunteer work from COA, from helping refugees with their lessons for Dutch, and our minister does not want to sign that they will get this ribbon. In my letter, I'm mentioning extra that because of all my work, I'm also doing this volunteer, mostly between 80 and 100 hours a week. I got a ribbon. And you know, thanks to Faber, I'm now more proud of it. That's something I want to share with you because we are also a proud family. Thank you. Have a good March.
Thank you, Sandro!